everybody, how you guys doing? I hope you're all having an amazing day. I am in Singen, Germany right now, which is really far south Germany. It's right on the border above Switzerland. My mother-in-law lives out here, and my wife also has some family that lives in Switzerland, so we come here for a vacation every once in a while. It's amazing. While we were here in Germany, we decided, since we're in Europe, we would check out London, and I went to PNP Fitness, which is a gym out there that I've always wanted to go to. I'll just warn you guys right now, I try really hard to keep my videos interesting for anybody and everybody to watch, but this video will be boring unless, like me, you are obsessed with calisthenics. I wanted to make a quick video just to recap what I learned at PNP Fitness, because their training philosophy, the things that they do, the things that they focus on, I found a lot of it really interesting, and a lot of it was new to me, you know what I mean? I don't spend as much time focusing on some details like they do. I wanted to make this video just to recap it, refresh my memory, make sure I apply what I learned, and so you guys can learn too. But if you're not into calisthenics, obsessed with fitness on that level, you can click away right now. Come back next week, videos will be back to normal then. But for right now, I want to get into the details of what I learned at PNP Fitness. Let's do it. In that video where I went over there and trained with them, I mentioned that they were obsessed with form, and that didn't surprise me. You know, obviously form is really important. If you know anything about training, then you know form is like one of the most important things you can focus on. But I was still impressed with how much they focused on form, how many reps I had to repeat. Especially when it comes to pull-ups, I try to focus on getting my chin above the bar, even though I don't always get my chin above the bar, but also keeping your legs straight. They were really focused on, anytime I do pull-ups, sometimes I bend my legs to get myself a little bit of momentum. Not even kipping necessarily, but just keeping them bent. And they were really focused on keeping your legs straight. I think it's just to have that full body tension, you know what I mean? Not to let anything be relaxed. Form is obviously important, but of course, PNP Fitness, they focus on that stuff. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, and this is probably the biggest takeaway for me, is how much they focused on engaging the scapula. I talk about this in my videos once in a while. I also think I'm gonna make a video specifically talking about it and explaining it for those of you who don't know what it is or understand what it is. But when it comes to calisthenics, bodyweight training, gymnastics, basics, the position of the scapula is really important. All these muscles that control where the scapula is, your shoulders, your shoulder girdle, it's all associated with the muscles that you use to push and pull, obviously. The moment I really started to understand the role that played when it came to my pull-ups, my levers, planches, all that stuff, just having that knowledge helped me to reach new levels. If you watch the beginning of that video, like I said, the first exercise really focused on active hangs. So the difference between a passive and an active hang. Passive, your shoulders are just relaxed. And then active, your shoulder should be pulled down, right? Not up here by your ears. Your shoulder should be pulled down and away. And at the beginning of the workout, we were doing like 30-second holds there, and then we hit a muscle up. Then we come back down, and then a 25-second, then a 20-second, then a 10-second. What I thought was an active scapula was like halfway there, according to PNP philosophy. I was there, and I had that active hang, and if you look at the beginning, he tells me, lean back, and the moment I lean back, you have to, so now it's not just retraction of the shoulder blade, it's also depression. So retraction, depression. Retraction is right here, depression is when you lower the scapula. And so the moment he told me to lean back, my scapula was engaged in a way where I was like, okay, that just went from being difficult to being very difficult, and now I gotta hold this position for 30 seconds. And I think that's why, even to this day, my rear delts are super sore from that workout. Rear delts, and you know, obviously all those muscles in my upper back, my traps, but an active hang position for them is like almost like you're starting to get into a front lever as opposed to just bringing your shoulder blades down. That's a huge key for calisthenics, understanding the way the scapula works, and these dudes focused on that. Last major thing that I took away, I don't want this video to get too long, so I'll jump into it, was the amount of time that they would spend on the bar for one set. I'll do workouts where I do like 300 reps, right? I'll do like 100 pull-ups, 100 straight bar dips, 50 push-ups, and like 50 bodyweight rows, right? Incline rows. But I'll break those up into pretty small sets. You know, at first the sets will be long, but towards the end of the workout, I'll be doing like 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps at a time. At PNP, they would have us on top of the bar doing straight bar dips, and you would see I would lower in that muscle up position and hold at the top of the bar, and then I'd hold at a 90-degree position, and then I'd hold at the bottom, and then I'd have to do 5 reps all unbroken. And of course, you know, everybody gets tired and you have to drop at some point, but they were really focused on not allowing that break. Right? So time under tension is something that people talk about in fitness, and that's obviously really important. These dudes spend a lot of time under tension, but it's not necessarily time under tension targeting the same muscle group. It's not like we're doing 5 million pull-ups without stopping. We're starting with dips, and then we're going to pull-ups. So you end up spending like 1, 2, 3 minutes on the bar at a time, And that endurance that you gain on the bar, I feel like is invaluable for Ninja Warrior, because I've got to spend time on obstacles unbroken. I can't just drop. I was blown away at how much they spent time doing these really long sets unbroken. And that was the goal. Of course, I'd have to take breaks, I'd stop and I'd rest. But the moment you drop and start resting, your partner's counting down 10, 9. At first I was like, what's he counting for? And then I realized the moment you drop and you break that consistent set, they start counting down from 10 seconds, because that's how long you have before you have to get back on the bar. So they were really focused on doing unbroken sets, and that's something I'm going to start doing in my training more, and that you should start doing in your training more if you want the same results as those guys when it comes to that crazy power and that crazy endurance on the bar. PNP Fitness, the philosophy, is super interesting to me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you love calisthenics, if you love fitness, if you love Ninja Warrior, if you love any of that stuff, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm chasing that front lever right now and that one-arm pull-up, and those dudes at PNP Fitness do that stuff in their sleep. So that's why I'm so interested in the way they train, and that's why I really want to learn from what they do. To summarize, they focused a lot on form, obsessed with form. Form has to be perfect. They focused a lot on scapular positioning, and what I thought was an active hang was like halfway there. They did a lot of long unbroken sets, and I think that's what really builds not just the strength, but also the endurance on the bar. Here's a bonus one too. I loved the warm-up, and I didn't get that on film. The warm-up really focused on warming up the shoulders. They warmed up their whole upper body, but we spent probably the first like 5 minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, just warming up our shoulders, like small motions up and down with the hand turned at every angle, targeting different parts of the delt. And if you follow the channel, you know I dealt with a shoulder injury earlier this year. And my shoulder still, it's still, I would say it's at like 95%. I feel it once in a while, and getting that much blood flowing to the shoulder, I feel like it really helped my workout. I feel like it really helped my shoulder in general. Unfortunately, I did not get it on film, but just know this, they targeted warming up the shoulder a lot, and they prioritized getting a lot of blood flowing to the shoulder, because it's easy to injure your shoulder doing this stuff, man. That's the bottom line. The shoulder is a really sensitive joint, so the fact that we spent so much time warming it up was cool to me. Work hard, stay focused, never quit. Peace out.